Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Nowhere Safe Part 2, Unintended Silence. I played the first one. After I played this one, again, I apologize. The first one, it was a funny ending. Well, not funny. I ended up killing my daughter. So I don't know how funny that can be. But no, I mean, actually, it was my typical drunken stumbling. Anyway, sorry. Getting drawn into the song. But no, it was a typical my drunken rambling self. So I thought I'd play this again, especially now knowing what happened in the first game. And not like that, there's actually been some changes in the game from what I understand. Some of the text has changed. Mainly, it might have been because of my drunken misinterpretation of it, but I don't think so. Let's see. Maybe, who knows? God, how many drinks I've been drinking? Now, I was at the bar, had one drink there. The music is gone. Why is the music gone? Anyways, I had 2 drinks there. Someone actually bought me a free Fireball. It was randomly the bartender asked, "Hey, do you want a shot of Fireball?" Do you know me? Yes, of course I would. Apparently, someone's buying a round of Fireball for the whole bar. So, yeah, so 2 drinks there. I think this is my second or third drink here. So I'm 5 or 4 in. So, enough of that aside. Let's start a new game. So, save game, scroll back, sound off. Why would I want sound off? No. So, I don't know how I'm going to do this because essentially I've already played the beginning of this. So let's see if my reading is better. So this can be a continuation of part 1.
Hey there, little lady.
Hey there.
Remember me?
Yeah, you were from the first game, you bastard. Kento! You're inside the house. How are you inside the house? See, now I know that he's inside the house and he shouldn't be because he had a freaking phobia of it. Of course, our daughter is 5. That happened 5 years ago. And I now know that that was Hamasaki's brother. Which means Kimiko's... no, I'm Kimiko. I'm Kimiko? I don't have any breasts. Anyways, no, wow. That went dark quick. Anyways, our daughter, Kazumi, his aunt is actually our psychologist. So, anyways, screaming. Ah! Hey, wake up. What were you dreaming about? What the hell do you think I was dreaming about? How often do I wake up screaming? I don't know what event in my life could cause me to scream. You insensitive bastard. Hairless bastard too, but nippleless bastard. I never noticed that. You don't have any nipples. It was about what happened. Yes! Genius. Mommy? Everything's fine, sweetie. Just go back to bed. Daddy? It's fine. Just do as your mom says. She's crazy. Go to sleep. Little girl. So at this point, actually, we don't even know it's our daughter. I'm back. Sorry about that. Hit a bit of a glitch there. But anyways, yeah. So now that I've actually played the first game, I mean, it's weird. It's little daughter. I now know what happens. But it's just weird. I mean, everything was going so great for us in the first game towards the end. We were going to get married. We were going to do it outside. We were getting over our agoraphobia. And then our free psychologist's brother had to break in and everything went to hell. Rightfully so. I mean, you know, that traumatic type experience. So anyways, so the next morning. What happened last night? Why are you inside the house? Did they ever explain how he got over his phobia of being indoors? Other than he had to take care of a daughter, I guess? I don't remember. You don't remember, or you don't want to talk about it. ... Obviously, you don't want to talk about it. Look, I think you need to talk to a doctor. Haven't I been talking to a set of boobs? No, Hamasaki. Haven't I been talking to her this whole time? And I know the future, you bastard. When I say something to you, jeez. Yeah, no wonder I have a scare of men. No, that was the agoraphobia, whatever it is. Do you see how much pressure your silence is putting on us? Daddy. Yeah, she just walks in every time they're having a fight. Everything's fine, Kazumi. Let's go to school before we're both late. Yeah. Kinto leers at me before walking out the door. Kazumi follows in disapproval. Why is she disapproved? Well, the main reason why she's disapproved. She's a smart little girl. I never wanted to be someone like this. I tried so hard as I could to make sure that things didn't end up this way. However, bad luck seemed to follow me wherever I went. Again, see, this confused me the first time around. So what happened is she went to a flashback of school. By the way, her school event messed her up too, I guess. We make our own luck, Mrs. Yui. Don't forget that. The teacher's not bad looking. I used to believe that, but now I actually don't think that's true at all. Sometimes you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, through no fault of your own. I'm right about that. Several years have passed, yeah, your daughter's 5, since my assault. The police utterly failed to protect me from someone who they knew were a violent criminal. By the way, I'm reading this all over again, ain't I? Whatever. He had a history of crime. For some reason, unbeknownst to me, he had chosen me as his next target. He just saw you. To this day, I'm still not sure how the police could have been so neglectant, but the state ended up paying for me. Because he went to jail. Hamasaki was his guardian. He got guardianship and released himself, or something to that extent. But then again, she claimed he had it. Yeah, it's... I guess you could sue him for that still, but anyways. Ultimately, I'm not sure it was a good thing. A long time ago, I received a large settlement from my previous employer. By the way, she in sexual assault, but wasn't so much on her. She embellished and got a little bit of money from that. And she ended up being a shut-in as a result. I didn't have to work. After that, I never had to leave the house. 5 years later, I received another settlement. This time, it was from the government. The cycle started all over again. Perhaps this was the worst thing that could happen. Possibly even worse than the actual assault. I don't know about that. I mean, rape's pretty freaking bad. Without any financial needs, I had no motivation to make serious progress in improving my condition. Kinto and I met several years ago. See, this is where I got hung up before. We had arranged to get married, but things never came together. What that really means is, yeah, originally, I think he might have changed the text on this because I got confused. But yeah, I thought they meant they got arranged to get married rather than, they were arranged to be married rather than they chose to get married. Someone chose them to get married. You know, the arranged marriage thing like they have. Anyways, I was never able to stay in the front yard long enough to get through an entire wedding ceremony. Again, you could actually have it inside the house or the backyard same as the front yard, I guess. On top of that, Kinto's parents didn't approve of me at all. They wanted him to find someone that's... By the way, he was pretty messed up in that one also. He had his own phobias he had to work through. He's actually in a better condition now than he was several years ago. Just saying. More normal, I guess. Sometimes I feel like I'm anchored to a bottom of a deep, deep grave, where people throw dirt on me. There's no let. By the way, I have read all this before. If it weren't for my daughter, I think I would have taken my own life a long time ago. Who am I kidding? By the way, that should be accomplished by a drinks alcohol. Who am I kidding? Even if I didn't have my daughter, I probably would be too chicken to do anything. I had Kazumi about 6 years ago. So, by the way, all this happened 6-7 years ago. Everything from the first game, that is. By the way, hopefully I put a link here for the first playthrough of Part 1, and maybe a link down here for the first playthrough of Part 2, which is the game I'm playing now. I came over to the house. I couldn't understand Oh yeah, yeah. She doesn't like to talk to. Oh yeah, she's beginning. I asked Kento about it. She told me that he didn't really notice too strange. He didn't notice she didn't talk in the car if other cars or people are around. However, she does just fine when she's at the grocery store. But Kazumi started her first day at school yesterday. She's only been in school. Wait a minute. So she's 6. Yeah, that's about right. We tried to talk to her about it later, but she didn't say anything. She just cried. Chip off the own block. Her teacher called me this morning and left a message. I should probably get back right away to her. I feel so nervous. By the way, I am too socially anxious, shy. So even phone calls, heck, even just doing live streams, typing with people makes me a bit nervous. I don't know why. Anyways, my brother. Okay, yes. Hello. Is this Mrs. Yuki? Yes, it is. My name is Kimiko. Yui's my daughter. No, Kimiko Yui. My daughter is Kazumi. I think she's in your class. Yes, she's a beautiful little girl, but insane. I'm glad to hear that. I was a bit worried when I got the message. That's all right. I called you because Kazumi didn't say a word during class yesterday. She was very well behaved, but very quiet. Oh? She didn't speak to me nor any of the other children. I've never seen a child do any of that before. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's fine, darling, really. Does she have any other friends her age? No, she doesn't. I see. You probably could help her by starting with that. She may have just been extremely shy. It was her first day of school, after all. Watch it. That goes from teacher to Woody Allen, if I'm not careful. Perhaps. Was she able to follow in class? Oh, yes. She followed along just fine. She seemed to be very, a bright girl. However, I couldn't get her to say a word, even when I was smacking her back Though I must say, she was very willing to nod yes and no to my questions. That actually went a bit Midwestern there. No. Okay, well, who am I? Talk to my husband, get home. Thank you, don't worry. Some children are just slow to warm up. Have a nice day, okay? Hangs up. I just talked to the crazy lady's mother. I can still hear you. I know. My husband. It was a lie. I told her in order to avoid. Yeah, I said it right. I can't say it. Speech impediment. I get hung up on words. Avoid explaining why I wasn't married. Kento was always uncomfortable with me saying that, but I sacrificed him being uncomfortable for my convenience. I guess I was being selfish, but I didn't care. Then again, you don't have to have the ceremony to get married. You can do the paperwork, get married. Hell, you've been living together for 7 years, I assume? So, common law. If they have that in Japan. I don't know. Anyways, he's cheating on you. I have to talk to Kento about Kazumi. Wrong voice. Whatever. When he gets back from the bakery. Oh yeah, so he still works at the bakery. 7 years, and he's still working at the bakery. Hey, we're home. By the way, what happened to his house? He had a house. He moved in with you. What happened to your parents? Your parents used to live in this house. They were on vacation. I just realized some of this stuff now that I played the first one. Hey, we're home. Oh, good. I have something I've been wanting to talk to you about all day. Kasumi, get lost. Well, I hate to question her, so stealing right away from... Your mother asked you a question. Cries. Oh, I remember this. I hate you, Mommy. What? Why? 'Cause you never leave the house and you smell like cheese. Kazumi runs upstairs to her room. I think she's just upset because she didn't want to go to school today. She's not adjusting very well. Her teacher, Kimiko, yes, her teacher said she hadn't spoke a word. It doesn't sound like today was any better. You think she's having same anxiety about leaving the house as you, do you? I'm really afraid of that. It could be a learned behavior. Maybe she's copying you. It's all your fault. You're a horrible mother. You should be ashamed of yourself. If that's the case, you're going to have to work really hard on getting out there and making it sorry. So it's all my fault. I'm just saying, yes, it is, because it's either your fault or my fault, and I'd rather be you. No, I'm just saying that her brain or chemistry or whatever could be similar to yours. It could also be a learned behavior. Or it could just be a little girl that's afraid to go to school. Did you ever realize that she doesn't have any friends? Oh, I never thought of that, I guess. I guess we're never really made it a priority. How could we how could you miss that? I can't imagine. I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and actually I helped raise one of my nieces a little bit. I can't imagine her not having friends her age. I mean, there are kids, social butterflies. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to love being on stage and having the main part of stages, of plays and stuff. Now look at me, but yeah, I can't imagine how did she not at least make friends with the person across the street or something like that. Kento shrugs his shoulder. He doesn't have much soldiers sold to shrug. I guess. What was her voice? I guess I didn't notice because friends aren't really a big part of my life. I mean, I just have a few. You know what? I was thinking today. What? You told me that she. Oh boy. Excuse me, and we're back. You told me that she talks when she goes to the grocery store with you, didn't you? Yeah, of course she does. She likes helping me pick out our stuff and that. So, does she talk while you guys are there, right? Yeah. But I remember you ran into Aya at the store that one time. And you were sleeping with her, weren't you? No, I was kidding. As soon as she saw that she refused to say another word. That's weird. She does the same thing when Aya comes to the house. Why didn't you tell me about that? I thought it was just being shy. I mean, she's still really little. 6? Yeah. Toddler age, they do develop that bit of shyness around other people that they don't know. I wonder what it is about her that she doesn't like. Maybe I should have her talk to Dr. Hamasaki. You've been seeing her for several years with no improvement whatsoever. Are you sure that's a good idea? Speaking of seeing Dr. Hamasaki for several years, anyways, I decided a long time ago that I didn't want to change therapists again. Not only that, she's still free because she owes me for her brother. That happened. Besides, I always feel better after I talk to her. Fine. I guess it wouldn't hurt. Does Kazumi talk when she comes here? I'm not sure. I usually have her play in the room, take a nap when she's here. I never really noticed, nor made any effort to actually raise my daughter. To have her meet her. I remember Dr. Hamasaki waving to her a few times, but she comes here to work, so she doesn't spend a lot of time trying to talk to her. Okay, we're back. Sorry, that was weird. Anyways, dear Lord, I really need to cut my hair. Phone rings. Mushi mush. Yes, Miss Yuri. This is Mrs. Ugachi, Kazumi's teacher, you see. Oh, yes, I've been meaning to follow up with you about my daughter. Liar. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. So, Kazumi's really a lovely girl, but I'm still haven't been able to get her to say a word. Really? Does she talk to the other kids? No, I don't think she does. But she does run around with them outside. But she doesn't say anything. No, I'm afraid she doesn't. I just don't understand. I have a therapist coming by to see her today, so I'll let you know what I find out. That would be wonderful. There was one other thing I wanted to talk to you about. You see, the first few days that we had some unusual incidents. What kind of incidents? Devil worshipping. Excuse me, my voice. This teacher's voice is... Wait a minute, Mrs... Hold on. That says Mrs. Hamasaki. Oh. I think that's a bug there. This is supposed to be the teacher talking, not Mrs. Hamasaki. Because it's Dr. Hamasaki, as far as we know. Dun, dun, dun. Anyways. Well, one of the students already broke his arm falling off of a slide, and another cut himself by a pair of safety scissors, which is really hard to do. You really have to dig those suckers in. Trust me, I know. And a lot of children have been sent home for messy kids. How is that our daughter's fault? There may be a stomach bug going. Yeah, that last one's just kind of random. I don't think you could blame that on anyone. It's just kids with lies. You can't. Anyways, I'm so sorry to hear that. No, don't see right there, Mrs. Yugagi. Don't be. You see, I've been calling. I'm calling because in all. How the hell is she been around all the diarrhea cases? Okay, you're pinning the diarrhea. The other one, sure, she's evil, pushing kids, takes after her father, whatever. But the diarrhea ones, no. Jesus, anyways. Children that hasn't been. Also, she seems to be one of the. Again, how can she spread? How the hell is she spreading diarrhea? Forcing them to eat Taco Bell? What? By the way, this isn't my YouTube channel is not sponsored by Taco Bell. Just to let you know, it's sponsored by Taco John's. Comment below if you actually know what Taco John's is. What are you saying? You don't think she pushed someone off the slides or cast the magic spell to cause diarrhea? Again, I'm hung up on the diarrhea stuff now. No, nothing like that. It's just odd. Okay. Would you mind asking the parents about it? If she was involved, I really want to know right away. Do you think she isn't ready for school? Oh, no. She's actually very delightful despite the evil nature of herself. Her handwriting is excellent, and she draws the most lovely pictures. Do you know that she can even read? Really? I didn't teach her. Well, I didn't actually hear her, but as I read, she was able to follow the words with her finger, and when I made a mistake, she would look up at me, confused and somewhat irritated, like she was smarter than I am, that little bastard. I'm sure that she must have been reading. Perhaps you can ask her to read one of her school books later. She's really very, very remarkable and evil, by the way. I'll try that. Thanks, Miss Ugagi / Hamasaki. Thank you so much. Hangs up. Bitch. Kento, can you come up here, please? I need a haircut. Wow. Oh. Wow. That's really strange. I have a bad feeling about this. Do you think she was serious? She has serious issues this early. Not at all proud that she can read at age 7. I couldn't spell at age 29, much less read at age 7. Could I read at age 7? I don't know. I wasn't a very bright phrase that. I'm not a very bright human being. Was or present doesn't matter. Just don't. I don't want to get upset before Dr. Hamasaki gets here. What did I choose last time?